Hey friends, welcome to Madera Farms. My name is Amelia. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then turn on the notifications with that little bell button. That way you'll be notified every time we post a new video. We do 2 videos a week and we also post shorts throughout the week as well. Today we are going to be making a DIY milking stand. This is going to be for my sheep and my goats. I have 2 ewes and be having lambs here in just a short time, hopefully within the next month or so. The vet coming out to double check due date and see where we're at, but I need to get on this milk stand right away. I used to have a milk stand that we made years ago for our old goat. We had to take that down as we reconfigured the barn and kind of made things a little bit more functional for how we are planning to pursue this homesteading farming journey, right? We're getting more into dairy, so we need to kind of make our barn fit that. So first things first is I am on my own today. I'm flying solo. I don't have Andrew with me to help me use the tools and get things ready. And the milk stand is actually going to be right here. I am going to use this shelving as kind of my structure and then build on that. I think it's a really great idea. We already have it up against the wall. It's not going to really affect any functionality within our barn. The only thing that I'm kind of skeptical about is the way that I want it to face. I keep going back and forth. Do I want the goats to, if you can see back here, we have a gate and that's where the goats are going to be coming out of. So I have to bring them out. And do I want them to come from the back and come up so that they're facing this way, which means I'll be milking this way, or vice versa? And every time I do this, this way feels a little bit better to me. Either way, I have a view of outside and everything around me, so I don't think that's a problem. It's just more like, what am I going to be more comfortable with? And to me, this feels a lot better. I have milked goats in the past, and it's really important that you're comfortable in your stand as much as the animals are comfortable. Because if you're bent over and trying to milk and your hands don't feel right, then it's just going to be, you're not going to be comfortable and the animal's not going to be comfortable, and that's a huge thing. So first we need to deconstruct what we have here, and then we're going to start building on that. So let's get to it.
We've used this shelving unit for so many different things. It was completely filled with junk. We just came back here and we would throw random stuff for storage, but then it would get covered in bird poop and all the things. So we threw everything out, and then we started using it for food storage. And then our previous goats would jump up here and get into the food. So we put this little makeshift gate up so that they couldn't do that. And then once we got rid of our first herd of goats, we kind of just didn't use it anymore. So I'm glad that we're actually making it functional for the barn, because it is a nice structure to have. If you are starting a milk stand without something already in place like this, all you would need to do is just build a rectangle box off the ground a little bit, and then you'd pretty much have exactly what I have here. And then I started just finding pieces around the barn that would fit the length that I need. And as you can see, it is perfect. There are plenty of pieces laying around the barn that I get to use for this project, but we have to deconstruct a lot of them because they were pulled down from an old barn, or we pulled them out of one of the stalls that we're not using anymore. But I'm trying to be as resourceful as possible when doing this project, because we all know the price of wood is out of control. So if we have it, I'm using it. And to be honest, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of going by whatever I feel like. There's no set plans for this. I'm just trying to make it work. So my husband tore down an old barn. This was probably 4 years ago. He found it on, I think, Craigslist, that someone needed their barn taken down. So he went and did it, him and my father-in-law, and they were able to get so much wood for free. All they had to do was put in the labor, and it was a couple days worth of work, but it's totally worth it. You can definitely find free wood and stuff like that if you look on Marketplace or maybe Craigslist. All of those things are a way to resource out things that you need, but you don't want to spend all the money on it, especially if you're getting started homesteading and you're building infrastructure. It's a great way to, get things that you want without forking out thousands of dollars. So when I started this project, in my head, I was like, I know how to use all of these tools and I've seen Andrew do it. I know I can do it. But the one thing that I didn't realize was how much stronger he is than I am. Even just holding the crowbar was tiring, let alone having to hit the hammer probably 3 times as many times as Andrew would have had to hit it. But I was able to get what I wanted off and deconstructed, which is really exciting.
All right, I figured out what I'm doing, but my only problem is I found these out in the yard, as you can tell. Everything I am doing is recycled because wood's super expensive. But it'll be fine. I found these, which are the perfect length and height. My only problem is I don't know how to cut in. So Andrew's gonna have to do that. So what I think I can do is I can leave these 2 pieces out. I can build the rest of it, and then I'll have Andrew cut the holes that I need, and then I can attach these. I don't think it's really gonna mess with my design as of yet. So I just need to remove all of the stuff that's on here, and then I can screw it in, but I think that'll work. And then my next thing is I need to build a ramp so that the goats can get onto it. I've decided that I'm gonna put the goats facing the front of the barn, which is what I didn't want to do. However, I can sit either way now that I'm thinking about it. Like, just because they're facing this way doesn't mean I have to. Like, I can be faced either way, whatever becomes more comfortable. It's just the back side of this has a bar on it, or has a piece of wood that I believe is like supporting the thing. And I'm afraid if I take that off, that like this whole thing's gonna come crumbling down because everything's just kind of like scabbed together. And I don't want that to happen. I'm trying to be resourceful here. I'll be able to milk them either way. It might not be the prettiest, but it'll be functional.
I researched a lot on Pinterest on milk stands and what the different functions were. I know there are certain things that have to be in place, but other than that, you can kind of make it however you want. You just want to be able to get the sheep or goat in there.
I just videotaped nothing, but I got this piece on, and let me show you what I'm talking about. Put my gloves on because this wood is kind of gross. I had to lock away that rooster because he tried to attack me like 4 times. So, sorry for the noise. But these I know Andrew's gonna come home and be like, what in the world? But this is my thought. All right, so I have these 2 pieces, and I need like a long kind of hole cut out in them, and then I'm gonna put them like this, so then when I close that, so I just need Andrew to cut those holes, and then I can attach them, because I don't know how to do that. That's left, and I'm gonna put this right here. Plenty of space to put those boards. Actually, I'm gonna check just to make sure. Oh yeah, plenty of space. So, and then I'll just screw them in from this side because they're really gonna be like on nails, I think, or one screw, so I can they can move.
The whole idea of me doing this project on my own was that I thought I wouldn't have to use a saw. I thought I'd be able to find pieces around the barn that would just fit perfectly. Well, that didn't work out.
Probably the scariest thing I've ever done in my life on my own. The whole time I'm like, if this thing friggin', that's terrifying. But it's done. So now I have just pieces that I need to put up, and honestly, I feel good about it. Right where I'm trying to work.
One thing that I've really been working on, especially going into 2024, is to do things that are hard. And I know this might sound silly or kind of dumb, but power tools have always kind of scared me, especially saws and things like that. And In my mind, when I started to say, like, you can't do this, wait for Andrew, I immediately started thinking, you can do hard things. You know how to turn it on, you know how to use it, you know how to be safe, so just go ahead and do it. And honestly, I really need to continue to do that because a lot of times I know that Andrew knows how to do things. I know it'll be easier if he does it. So I kind of just let him take on all of the projects. But I really need to start doing it since I'm the one that's home all the time. And I actually want to be proud of the things that I build. I don't want to have to wait for Andrew to do stuff like this. And I encourage you to do the same. If you are wanting to build something or you're wanting to change something at your house or on the farm, or even if you're just painting or anything like that, I encourage you to take the initiative and go ahead and do it. I know a lot of times the handiwork around the house is kind of the man's job. I'm not putting gender roles out there, but it is kind of the man's job to, change the light bulbs or do anything like that. But lately I have been just doing it on my own instead of saying, hey, Andrew, can you do this? I'll just do it. And then I feel so much better. Like I changed the brake lights in my car. I have literally done so many things this year that I normally wouldn't have done because I'm telling myself that you can do hard things. And it has really started to change my mindset. I love it. My goal for this year is to really grow our farm. I know we're going to be putting hay up this year. That's going to be a huge thing that we're going to be doing. And I want to grow my garden and feed my community. And if I'm the one that's home by myself, I need to know how to build the beds, put up the greenhouse, all the things. So taking these little steps now will help me build that in the future.
All right, I feel really accomplished. There's still a few little things that I want to tweak and change, but as of right now, it's probably functional. I'm going to try and grab an animal and we'll see. Some of the things that I still want to work on are, I want this to be like a clean cut. I don't want these like edges here. Maybe I'll like them when I have to like hang a bucket or something. But for right now, I really don't like having this here. So I have my feed right here. I have this piece of wood that I moved. And then I have my two pieces that Andrew's gonna help me cut. And then I have the stand that I made.
Before I grab the animals to get them up onto the milk stand to show you guys how this works, I wanted to show you the functionality of this ramp. So I put it on hinges so it can come down when we need it. And then when we have to come through with the tractor to clean out the barn, we can put it back up. I think this was a really great idea.